Yep. Oregon Tech trying to do the same for the Cascade Conference. Bounce pass inside, and Gomez was trying to hit, looked like Riddle driving down there, and the ball got away from him, and Hunter couldn't save it from going out of bounds. Alex Zerback will check back into the ball game for the Hustle and Owls, taking the place of Gomez. 31-26, Davenport's kind of gotten back into this thing. They were down 9 a moment ago, 4-0 run. They're down only 5 here. Fairfax to the basket, pull up, kick out to Nelson. Nelson bounces back to Fairfax. In the corner it goes to Javante Ford. His long three is too hard, and an off-balance shot is rebounded by Riddle. Hands it to Hunter, and back the other way we go. Hunter, top of the key, gives it to Clark. He fires a three. It's short, and Nelson with the rebound. 3-on-2 break. Fairfax has it right side. Fairfax to the basket, and a blocking foul called on David Clark. And now another one of those calls, not much argument, because Clark could not establish position by the time Fairfax got there. $15:42 to go. Make it 31-26 Oregon Tech. Bryant Sitman will come in to see his first action of the second half, taking over for Riddle. Fresh shot clock for Davenport, down by 5, 31-26. James Nelson to the basket. Layup no good, but he gets fouled by Zerback, and he'll get to go to the line for 2. So kind of like we had in the first game for a while, although Northwood kind of slowly extended the lead. Oregon Tech has maintained the lead for a while, but just can't get rid of Davenport.
And then that's a credit for Davenport for hanging in, and and that's kind of what they're trying to do. They can just hang in and keep it close. Who knows what could happen in the end?
Shot rolls in and out. First one missed. One more on the way for Nelson. Nelson coming in a 76% free throw shooter, but misfired on the first one there. This tournament has had some very interesting highlights. The St. Francis went over Jamestown in the first round when a player control foul out of bounds, as Nelson misses both, won a game for St. Francis. And then the game that people are still talking about from the quarterfinal Saturday, when McPherson came from 7 down with 45 seconds to go to beat Dort to get to the semifinals. Hunter, layup inside, good. Bobby Hunter got open inside. They found him. He has 13, and Oregon Tech back up 7, 33-25.
Nice backdoor cut to give him his first points in the second half.
Lonnie Fairfax, and we'll correct the number here. It's a 5-point lead again, 33-28. Oregon Tech on top after the Fairfax basket. But Dort and Perry and I were both calling that game on different outlets. I was here on NAI.org. Perry was actually calling that game for the McPherson folks on the Tournament Radio Network, and it still took me a while to recover from that, see what we had seen. Here's a three knocked down by David Clark. He has 3 threes in the ball game, and Oregon Tech back up 8, 36-28. Fairfax to Nelson. Looks like Oregon Tech kind of backing into a 2-1-2 zone there. Maybe doing a little matching up. Here's a drive, and shot forced up, no good. Rebound comes out. Javante Ford to the basket. He's hacked and is fouled, but that'll give us a chance to finish the thought on that game for McPherson, as they came from 7 down to win a game. Not only win it, but they won it by 4. Yep. After Dort had been up and made 2 free throws with just over 50 seconds to go up 7, they didn't score again. And we've seen a lot of games, not only in this tournament, but Perry and I do all the local basketball here on our flagship station for the area high schools, plus College of the Ozarks. I'm not sure I've seen one like that one before.
No, so many different things we've seen this year, and and we'll talk about it. You and I will more on our local broadcast tomorrow. But we did a game locally here, actually in this gym, where the College of the Ozarks did not score for the first, I believe it was 9 minutes of the game.
Actually 10 minutes.
10 minutes, and then ended up winning the game.
That's right. We kind of drew a comparison to that in the first game, or earlier, when neither team scored for a while. Kind of happened in this game too. Here's a turnover. Davenport with the basketball. 3-ball corner pocket. Good! Javante Ford. He has 12 points, and Davenport right back to within 4 at 36-32. And once again, Oregon Tech stretches a little bit, but Davenport bends right back. Hunter inside, ball out of bounds. They're not going to call a foul. They're just going to say out of bounds. The ball will stay with Oregon Tech. It'll be thrown in on the baseline. They're going to have Jordan Kiley throw it in. Kiley, the junior from Lakeview, Oregon, will trigger the inbounds. 13:47 to go. Also Josh Johnson in the ball game for the Hustle and Owls. Gomez back in as well. Hunter to Gomez. Back to Hunter. Down to 12 seconds to shoot. Still plenty of time. Hunter will reset now for the Hustle and Owls. Shot clock down to 5, down to 4. Hunter may just do this himself. They're going to give it to Gomez. Gomez, long three at the buzzer, no good. And Oregon Tech almost clears the board, but it comes out to Dearmond Davis, and here comes Davenport on the run. Fairfax loses it inside. Hunter goes down the other way, trying to outrun Javante Ford. He misses the layup. Follow-up, no good. Sitman triple teamed inside, and Hunter's going to back it back out.
And that is a credit to the Oregon Tech offense for everybody hustling down instead of just watching a layup go to the other end.
And the ball will be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Davenport. And Javante Ford hurt himself on that last sequence. Remember, he was the one that chased it down, and Ford limps off the court, and Demetrius White will come in for him. 36-32 Oregon Tech with 12:53 to go. You're right, and not only hustling down court, Perry, but once they realized they didn't have the layup, so you don't have the fast break, you just get the ball back outside and run a set play. 12 seconds to shoot on this possession. Gomez goes right side to Kiley. Baseline it goes, and there's going to be a foul called that will send Scotty Riddle to the free throw line. (36-32) Oregon Tech. Mario Redmond commits the second team foul on Davenport here in the second half. First free throw up and no good by Riddle. One more on the way. Good. 1 of 2 for Riddle. He has 3 in the game. 37-32 Oregon Tech. 12:35 to go in this win from Point Lookout, Missouri at the NAI Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament. Oregon Tech almost turns the ball over, but Hustle and Owls will kick the ball. That'll give possession back to Davenport. Shot clock will stay where it's at 26 seconds. Northwood, the opponent for one of these two teams tomorrow night in the national championship game. As Perry mentioned, we'll actually be calling the game locally on the flagship station of the Tournament Network, 100.1 KOMC. And the audio will be streamed online for that at HometownDailyNews.com. The video will be CBS Sports Network. They'll have the action tomorrow night nationally. 37-32, 12:25 to go. Fairfax for the Panthers. Wants to go to the basket. He does. Kicks it outside. Here's a Humphrey three. It is no good. Rebound fought for, and I think Javante Ford's going to be fouled over the back by Scotty Riddle, and that was Javante Ford just getting in position. Kind of worked around Riddle a little bit there at the last minute and got the position to get the over-the-back call.
Oh, yeah, and Davenport really had the position all over that rebound as they had one on each side of the basket waiting on it to come off.
Fairfax looking for someone to throw it into. He has to go all the way to the backcourt to Nelson. He'll get it back with the foul called. And by the way, that's the third on Riddle. Sixth on Oregon Tech. Drive to the basket. No good by Nelson. But free throws coming up. And Nelson again a chance to cut into a 5-point lead. Nelson, remember, missed a couple there a moment ago. This tournament has seen a lot of close games. In fact, we talked about the first 16 games of the tournament, probably the most competitive first round of the 13 tournaments we've seen here at College of the Ozarks.
3 overtime games day one alone.
I believe 12 of the 16 games were decided by less than 10 points, and 2 of those were decided by 10 points that went to 10 points in the last couple of minutes. Nelson's now missed 3 in a row at the line. Some good opportunities for Davenport going by the board. He does get this one. And Nelson finally has his second point of the game, and Davenport's cut the lead to 4, 37-33. Coming up on 12 minutes to go. Oregon Tech being very patient. Gomez has it to Hunter. Hunter top of the key, pull-up jumper for 3. No good, too hard. And all over the rebound was Demetrius White. Down court it goes as Nelson tries to throw it to Humphrey, but a defender, and I believe it was Gamblin, got down court to knock it out of bounds and prevent the easy shot. Oregon Tech's going to take a timeout here with 11:39 to go. 37-33 is the score. And while we're thinking about it here, Perry, if you're looking at this tournament, you know, just thinking about what has transpired, what kind of sticks out to you?
And well, I think the main thing that sticks out is it's kind of what we talked about, how competitive it is, and how parity was really the name of the game in the NAIA this year.
Well, and the thing about the parity, and this is what makes this interesting, the parity was certainly there. We saw that in the first round, even a lot of the second round games, but yet you get to the quarterfinals, and 7 of the top 8 teams that were supposed to be there were.
And that is really amazing that in that close of games that the favorites were able to continue to come out on top.
And to take it a step further, had Dorton held on to the lead, we'd have had the first ever 1, 2, 3, 4 Final Four ever in this tournament. In fact, we mentioned it earlier that this is the highest group of seeds ever to make a Final Four in the Division II tournament. The previous high happened in 2002. Evangel won it that year. They were the number 1 seed. Cornerstone was 3, Northwestern 4, Robert Morris was 7. And that was the previous top mark until this tournament. And we've talked about this already several times, both in this game and the previous game. Mike and I talked about this in the first game too. Still only 5 number 1 seeds have won this tournament. Oklahoma Wesleyan was the last one. To take that a step further, only 7 number 1 seeds have played in the national championship game in 21 tournaments. Only a third of the time. That shows you how tough it is. So Northwood will make it 8 coming up tomorrow. Lonnie Fairfax gets the basket. Fairfax has 8 now. And it is 37-35. The Oregon Tech lead is down to 2. 11:10 to go. And now here's Fairfax with a steal, trying to go coast to coast for the tie. And the shot blocked out of bounds, but a foul will be called on Gomez. Block was clean, but got him after he got the hand through there and knocked him down. And that's where the foul was called. It'll be 2 shots for Fairfax. And that's what I mean by the block was clean. He got him cleanly with the ball, but on the follow-through, knocked it through on the wrist, and that's going to get Fairfax to the free throw line. First free throw up by Fairfax. That one will roll in. Fairfax 9. 7 of those here in the second half. They'll have 1 more. Coming in the game now will be Mario Redmond. And I believe Redmond's going to go in for Fairfax after the second free throw. Giving him a rest here. And he will with the game tied at 37.
So that's 6 straight now to tie this game.
37-37, 11:08 to go. Oregon Tech and Davenport all knotted up. The winner to see Northwood tomorrow. Gomez throws it over to Clark. Clark gets it off to Gamblin. Gamblin can't make the shot. Here's Fairfax for Davenport, trying to give them the lead. He loses the ball, and Oregon Tech picks it up and then gets knocked over, and a blocking foul is going to be called He was knocked over, but Fairfax kind of slid in late. So again, the right call there is Fairfax gets called for the foul. That's his first foul in a while. It would be number 3 on him.
Yeah, and that's not bad. As long as he sit there and played with 2 fouls, at least he waited long enough to pick that 3rd foul out where it's still a little bit of dangerous situation, but it's not near like it was if he'd have picked it up with 17 or 18 minutes still to go.
37 all, almost a steal, and is a steal. This is Nelson trying to go coast to coast. Nelson will go in, make the layup, and Davenport's back in front.
And what a move, a crossover move about the free throw line that completely turned the defender around.
39-37, the Panthers back up for the first time since early in the first half. What's Oregon Tech going to come up with? Boy, they had a backdoor play, didn't take it. Here's a 3-ball for the lead. That one no good, and out of bounds back to the Panthers. Oregon Tech's gone cold from the field here, while Davenport has picked up the pace, and even though both teams do like the run, I think it probably suits Davenport's style a little bit more, and they're kind of increasing the tempo of the ball game a little bit and kind of getting Oregon Tech back on their heels. 37-39, we've just passed the halfway mark to go in the second half. Davenport, 2-point lead and the ball. You know, we thought with the athletes on this ball club, it might be a high-scoring affair, but I actually have to tip the hat to the guy sitting next to you, Bobby Thompson, the longtime radio voice of Oregon Tech. He had this one pegged right. He said this was going to be a grinded-out game. That's exactly what it's turned out to be. Lob inside, Nelson, basket! 41-37, Oregon Tech. 10-0 run now for the Panthers to take a 4-point lead. Oregon Tech needs a basket from somebody. Hunter's got it. He loses the ball. Loose on the ground. We're going to have a tie-up, I believe. And if it's a tie-up, it goes to Davenport. Very physical tie-up, but they're going to give the ball to Davenport on the held ball. Danny Miles upset that there wasn't a foul called there. He did get very physical down there as they're trying to get the basketball, but it was a held ball, and that means Davenport gets it on the alternate possession with 9:12 to play. Panthers up by 4, 41-37. Official having a conversation with a couple of Davenport players, and Danny Miles was wanting to ask the official what they were talking about. Now play put back in here. Here's a drive to the basket. One-hander no good. Fairfax gets his own rebound. Gets it back outside. Nelson gets the ball. And back will go. By the way, Ronnie Watson, Rick Fields, and Tony Gray are officials here this evening. Fairfax trapped into the basket. He's left alone. Shoots no good. Short changed it. And now a 2-on-1 break the other way. Hunter down court. And there's going to be a blocking foul called. Maybe not the worst foul because it's only the 5th team foul. But Hunter has an easy layup if he doesn't stop it.
Yeah, and Hunter did the right thing of taking it right into the man there to assure at absolute worst he's going to get a couple of free throws.
Trying to cut the scoring drought here, in the scoring drought for Oregon Tech. Hunter will get the first one, which ends the 10-0 run by Davenport. Hunter now tied for the game-high lead in scoring with 14.
Well, it has been a while since Oregon Tech has had a field goal.
Second one on the way is up, no good. Boarded, though, by Oregon Tech. .25 to go. 41-38. Inside, shot up, good. So that makes it kind of a reverse three-point play on the basket by Gomez. And now Oregon Tech, 3 in a row, cut the lead to 1. Down to 8 minutes to go. Nelson was kind of held up. They're going to try to get the ball underneath, and they had Humphrey, but Nelson threw a floater there, and Humphrey couldn't make the connection with it.
just a little bit too much on the faux pass. They sent him back door, and you're right, he was cutting diagonal to the basket, was open.
Burt Paddock thought maybe that Humphrey was held a little bit getting to the basketball, but didn't get the call. Now Oregon Tech can retake the lead with a basket. Coming up on 7:40 to go. Gomez at the top, drives in on Nelson, gets around 2 defenders, and he's going to travel. And the Oregon Tech bench a little unhappy with that one. Davenport maintaining a 1-point lead, 41-40. As this one winds down to 7.5 minutes to go. Lob inside to Humphrey, that one counts. I think they worked out their kink there, didn't you, Perry?
Yeah, absolutely perfect running the lob there, gets it for a slam dunk.
But then Hunter almost makes a spectacular play at the other end as he almost throws one in while he's being blocked. Can't get the shot, but he will go to the line for the free throw to cut the lead back to 1. First foul of the game called on Javante Ford. Just the 15th foul on Davenport, still 1 to give before putting Oregon Tech in the bonus. Hustle now is already with 18 fouls. First free throw by Hunter, he is good. Bobby Hunter, the freshman, and I'll correct my scoring, he is actually the game-high scorer with 15. Hunter also shoots 73% from the free throw line. Excellent for a freshman as he gets them both. Fairfax has 10, Nelson 6 for Davenport. 43-42 the score with 7:04 to go. The lead 1 for the Panthers. Fairfax out around midcourt. Drives to the lane, goes in. Going to try to put one up. That shot was blocked. And here's Hunter going down the other end, shooting for the lead. Counted it, a foul. Bobby Hunter to the basket.
Nice job of finishing there with the left hand as he's drawn the contact.
And a couple of ill-advised plays for Davenport. First, really the shot by Fairfax. He had Johnson sitting all over there. I mean, I know Fairfax can get around and has got around those guys before, but he actually just tried to shoot it right over him. That one was rejected. Then almost an impossible try to block a shot at the other end. And Hunter not only throws it in, but gets the +1, which he will not convert. But Hunter almost steals the rebound. Now Davenport on the run the other way, down by 1. Here's a long 3, Javante Ford. That one way off the mark. Boy, he fired that one up, and just not much hope with that one. Burt Paddock a little bit, maybe agitated, kind of shaking his head on that one, because Ford, I mean, it's great if it goes in, but no rebounding help if it doesn't. And there wasn't. 1-point Oregon Tech lead and the ball. Clark has his pocket pick, but then Oregon Tech recovers, but they're going to call a foul. And they're going to get Mario Redmond. Check that, that's Demascus White for the foul. 7th team foul, which will send Gomez to the free throw line. For White, that's going to be his 4th foul, so he'll leave the lineup, you would think. Although Burt Paddock has not gone to the bench yet. Now he does, as he'll put Vanderjack in the ball game. 6:19 to go. This one going right down to the wire. 44-43 Oregon Tech. We knew it would be a competitive, close ball game, and it's not disappointed. As the winner will see Northwood in the championship game tomorrow. Oregon Tech trying for their 4th national championship game appearance. Davenport their first ever. First free throw good by Gomez. He has 7. He does get it. Kyle Gomez 8. And Oregon Tech has retaken the lead, 46-43. So it's been a game of surges. Davenport had jumped out to a 4-point lead. But now it's Oregon Tech surging ahead by 3. 46-43, 6:15 to go. Fairfax to Vanderjack. Now Humphrey has it. Gets it back over to Nelson. Remember, Fairfax has 3 fouls, so he's got to be careful now, especially with White sitting on the bench with 4 fouls. Fairfax to the basket, splits 2 defenders and scores.
Well, once he got past that double team and into the lane, it was just an easy layup, just like warm-ups.
And good ball handling, just getting around the double team to begin with. I mean, he had a very small window there and was able to get it through to cut the lead to 1. 46-45 Oregon Tech. They try to give it back to Humphrey. That doesn't work, so they kick it back outside to Riddle, who gives it off to Kiley. Jordan Kiley back in the ball game for the Hustlin' Owls. Gamblin gives it off to Zurbach. And timeout called Oregon Tech. Oregon Tech will take a timeout with 5:22 to go. 46-45 the score. As the Hustlin' Owls with a 1-point lead and the ball. 11 seconds to shoot on this possession after the Oregon Tech full timeout. Well, you know, we were talking about what stands out in this tournament, and I agree with you, certainly the parity of the tournament, but just, you know, you kind of go through a tournament, and every once in a while you'll see something strange. You remember the very first tournament we did here in 2000, you saw College of the Ozarks get to the championship game unexpectedly, and they had a guy who had never shot a 3 in his life bank one in to beat Huntington. Not quite at the buzzer, but pretty close. And you get unusual things that happen every year, but in this tournament we really had 2. We talked about the St. Francis win and also McPherson's rally to get by Dort.
And you know, and one story hasn't been written yet, and it really depends on who comes to this game. There's going to be some big storylines going into that championship game tomorrow night.
Already won. I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot of people that have won both an NCAA and NAIA basketball championship. Raleigh Massimino has a chance to do that tomorrow night. Of course, Danny Miles has won nearly 1,000 games at Oregon Tech. Here's the shot clock down to 5, down to 4. Gomez is going to have to hurry. He's going to get a good look at it and scores it.
Oh.
Tough shot for Kyle Gomez, the senior, and he knocks it down. Can't fault the Davenport defense there. Just tip your cap to Kyle Gomez for getting the shot in.
Well, he had a floater, but a very smart thing. He turned his body square to the basket while he was floating to at least get a better look at it.
4:50 to go, 20 seconds to shoot. Davenport down by 3. Lonnie Fairfax to the lane. He wants to get something happening here, and he's going to get to the free throw line. As he draws contact, it's either going to be Gomez or Clark, and I think they get Clark for the foul. And for Clark, that'll be his 3rd. That's the 9th team foul, so from now on, Davenport shooting 2 free throws.
Well, it's Clark, and Fairfax did a nice job of getting in so close to him that when he went up for the shot, it was either going to be a foul or just move out of the way.
Fairfax knocks down the first one, and Lonnie Fairfax now has 13 in the game. He's now the leading scorer for the Panthers. One more on the way to cut the lead to 1, which he will get. 14 for Lonnie Fairfax. Armand Davis is back in for Davenport with the Panthers down 1, 48-47 with 4:42 to go. A hard-fought win by one of these teams will get them a ticket to the national championship game tomorrow night. In fact, in less than 24 hours. Gomez has it on the right wing. Gets it off to Gamblin. Gamblin was left alone for a second. He'll try to drive in. The ball will be out of bounds, and it was touched. That's the right call by the official. It was touched by the foot of Javante Ford, and it'll go back the other way. Shot clock is down to 8 for the Hustlin' Owls, and it will be Clark to trigger the inbounds. Goes out long to Gamblin. Right side, Riddle's going to force one up. It's an air ball. Hunter's going to throw one up. That's no good. 2 shots at it for Oregon Tech they couldn't make. Now Davenport shoots for the lead as we come up on 4 minutes to go. Fairfax can't get to the basket. Now he'll get there. Throws it back outside, but throws it right into the hands of an Oregon Tech player. He was expecting Davis to be there. He was, but an Oregon Tech player, and I think it was Clark, that stepped in front of the pass.
Yeah, it's a nice underhand pass, but didn't put enough on it, at least hard enough to get it to him before Clark could step in and take the ball.
Now they try the lob, and the ball's taken away by Davenport. 3-on-2 break. Nelson the bag has his pocket picked. What a steal down court by Gomez, who gets it outside to Hunter. Passing it off from Gamblin, and a blocking foul is called. What a steal down court by Gomez for saving it from going out of bounds. He gets it down course to Gamblin and gets to Hunter, and they go to the line.
Yeah, Gamblin standing on the other side of half court was able to go up with his big paw and knock it down, and then somehow able to kick it out and find Hunter over there, and just really it's a free possession because of that for Oregon Tech.
Tell you what, the coaches from Davenport just pound